Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to make gum paste chocolate cosmos. We're going to start off by making the flower centers, which are made from white thread by taking it and wrapping it around all four of your fingers over and over until you get a kind of a nice thick loop. Then you're going to take 24 gauge wires and you'll get 2 centers per loop here. So you'll take one wire and thread it through one side, twist it and tie it together, and then do the same on the other side. Once those are twisted off, then you're going to use your spring-loaded scissors and snip right down the middle to create 2 separate centers. Next, grab your floral tape and activate it by stretching it to make it sticky, and then tape down from the center down the length of the wire stem. And then we're going to finally trim off any sort of excess thread at the top. You want these to be tight and full and a little bushy, not super long and kind of flowy, which is how they look when you first cut them. So those 2 are ready to go. Set those aside, and now you're going to take out some maroon colored gum paste and roll it into a log. Once it's rolled out, you're going to press it into a groove board and then roll it out very thinly on the groove board. You should be able to see little lines from the grooves, and that's how you know you've rolled it thin enough. So remove it from the groove board and then put down some cornstarch to kind of help with any sticky bits. And using the smallest cutter in a Cosmos cutter set, we're going to cut out 8 petals from this gum paste that we just rolled out. At least 8 petals, which is how many petals the Cosmos flower has. If you can get more petals out of this at the same time, that's great. We're just going to store everything in a plastic document wallet until it is time to use them. That way they don't dry out. You can also see here that I am trimming some of the edges with these scissors, and that just helps remove any frayed bits in case you weren't able to get a nice clean cut with the cutter. So I like to work 2 at a time, and I take 2 petals out of my plastic wallet, and then I'm going to dip 28 gauge wires into the egg whites and then insert it into the groove that I made with the groove board, wiping off any excess on my hand before I insert it into the petal itself. Once it's inserted, then I like to pinch the end closed, and then I'll use the small end of the ball tool to kind of just stretch and very lightly shape the petal. Once that's done, I'll place each petal into a Cosmos veiner, which the veiner really does make a big difference here in terms of the overall final look, so definitely get a good one. And then grab your Dresden tool, and you're gonna use it to sort of cup the edges and then frill the top to give it a kind of full open look. Not super frilly, just to give it some movement. And give it one last pinch and maybe a twist before the petals go into the tray to dry. And here I'm just using an apple tray that I got at the grocery store. You can ask anyone in the produce department for a spare tray like that. If you have a different former you want to use, that's totally fine. The idea is just to place them in something wide and shallow to dry, so that they don't dry with too much of a cup in them, but just a little bit. So I'm going to repeat that process of thinning and veining and shaping with the rest of the petals, and then everything will set to dry overnight. If you're enjoying this video so far, please be sure to like it and subscribe. That way you can stay up to date on all of our future videos as well. I will also link to all the tools in the description below, so don't worry if you're wondering what brand I'm using or what type of cutters I have or anything like that. I'll make sure that all the links you need are available. We're going to move on to dusting and final assembly. I forgot, unfortunately, to film the part where I actually colored the center of the flower, but what you're going to do is take the floral threaded centers that you made, you're going to dust them with some eggplant petal dust, and then we're going to create edible pollen on top. And that's just powdered gelatin mixed with a little bit of yellow petal dust, and you're going to take your center, brush it with egg white, and then dunk it in the yellow in the yellow pollen. So you can see here I have 3 different kinds of petal dust, a kind of purpley burgundy color, a dark maroonish red, and then chestnut brown. And I mix all those together to get this very rich, reddish, sort of chocolatey color. Because chocolate cosmos are not straight brown in person, but they're not red and they're not maroon either. So if you've never seen one in person, I highly recommend just visiting your local florist or flower market and checking that out, so you have a good sense of what that's supposed to look like. So one thing I'm doing now is prepping all of my wires by bending them at 90 degrees at the stem. It makes it much easier to put the flower together this way. And then I'm just trying to arrange as many as I can in one layer, so I think I end up with about 5 here, 5 or 6, and then the remaining petals I kind of fit in as needed. And then I tape the whole thing down using floral tape again, and then I'll give everything a steam just to set the color. That's everything. Thanks so much for watching. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the comment section below. All of the links that you'll need are in the description box, and please be sure to like this video and subscribe to keep more future videos coming. Bye!